Learn English through story. The forbidden flame of the heart. In the heart of a vibrant city, where dreams and ambitions danced beneath the towering skyline, there stood a quaint little bookstore called English Pages. It was a place where time seemed to pause, allowing the aroma of old books and fresh coffee to envelop visitors in a comforting embrace. The owner, Clara Bennett, was a passionate bibliophile with a penchant for weaving stories. Her bookstore was more than just a business, it was her sanctuary, a haven where she could escape the chaos of the world and lose herself in the pages of literature. Clara had always been an independent spirit, valuing her freedom and the solace that books provided. Yet, as she approached her 35th birthday, she felt a growing sense of longing, a yearning for a connection that transcended the written word. She had watched her friends fall in love, marry, and start families, while she remained solitary, her heart encased in the confines of her book-laden sanctuary. One rainy afternoon, as the sky wept and the streets glistened with droplets, Clara was arranging new arrivals on the shelves when a figure stepped inside, shaking off the rain. The bell above the door jangled softly, breaking the silence of the store. Clara looked up, and her breath caught in her throat. The man who entered was tall and ruggedly handsome, with tousled dark hair and piercing green eyes that seemed to hold 1,000 secrets. He wore a leather jacket that hugged his broad shoulders, giving him an air of mystery. Clara's heart raced, and she felt a flutter of excitement she hadn't experienced in years. "Hello," he said, his voice deep and warm, like the first sip of coffee on a cold morning. "I'm looking for a book that will change my life." Clara raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "That's quite a tall order. What kind of book are you looking for?" He leaned against the counter, a playful smile dancing on his lips. "Something that ignites a passion within me, something that makes me feel alive." Clara felt an inexplicable connection to this stranger. "I think I might have just the thing," she replied, her heart fluttering. She guided him to a shelf filled with novels about adventure and love, pulling out a copy of a classic romance. "This one has a forbidden love theme. It's about two people from different worlds who find themselves drawn to each other despite the obstacles they face." The man took the book, his fingers brushing against hers for a brief moment, sending a jolt of electricity through her. "I'm intrigued." "What's your name?" "Clara," she replied, her voice slightly breathless. "And you?" "Liam," he said, a warm smile spreading across his face. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Clara." As they spoke, Clara felt a spark igniting between them. They discussed literature, their favorite authors, and their dreams. With each passing moment, Clara found herself captivated by Liam's passion for life and adventure. There was something magnetic about him, an energy that made her feel alive in a way she hadn't in years. Before long, the rain ceased, and the sun broke through the clouds, casting a warm glow into the bookstore. As they prepared to part ways, Liam glanced back at Clara, his expression earnest. "I'll definitely be back for more recommendations." "You've made my day." "Please do," Clara replied, her heart racing. "It was lovely to meet you." As the door closed behind him, Clara felt a whirlwind of emotions. She had never experienced such a strong connection with someone before, and it scared her. She was content in her solitude, or so she had thought. Yet, a flicker of longing ignited within her, a forbidden flame that she had kept hidden for far too long. Days turned into weeks, and Claire found herself thinking about Liam more often than she would like to admit. He had returned to the bookstore several times, each visit deepening their connection. They shared stories of their lives, their hopes, and their dreams. Clara learned that Liam was an architect who had just returned from a project abroad, seeking a fresh start in the city. One evening, as they sat together on a small bench outside the bookstore, the air thick with anticipation, Clara felt the urge to cross the invisible line that separated friendship from something more. She turned to Liam, her heart racing. "I feel like I've known you forever. There's something about you that pulls me in." Liam's gaze softened, and he reached for her hand. "I feel it too, Clara. But I have to be honest with you, I'm not in a position for a relationship right now. My life is complicated, and I don't want to drag you into it." The words hit Clara like a cold wave, extinguishing the flame that had ignited within her. "I understand," she replied, trying to mask her disappointment. "I just thought a broken bar." "I know," he interrupted gently. "I feel the connection too, but I need to figure some things out first. Can we just enjoy what we have for now?" Though Clara wanted to protest, to tell him that she couldn't simply settle for friendship, she nodded, her heart heavy. They spent the rest of the evening laughing and talking, but beneath the surface, Clara felt a lingering sadness. She wanted more, as she wanted the forbidden flame of passion that danced in her heart. As the weeks passed, their friendship blossomed, but so did Clara's longing for Liam. They shared stolen glances, lingering touches, and quiet moments that left her breathless. Yet, the boundaries remained, each unspoken word hanging in the air like a fragile thread that could snap at any moment. One fateful evening, as they closed up the bookstore, Clara's heart raced at the thought of confessing her feelings. The rain pattered against the windows, creating a cozy atmosphere that seemed to invite vulnerability. As they stood near the door, Clara took a deep breath, summoning the courage to speak her heart. "Liam, can we talk?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. He turned to her, his expression serious. "Of course." "What's on your mind?" "I know you've said that you're not ready for a relationship, but I can't help how I feel. You've awakened something in me that I thought had long been extinguished. I don't want to hide from it anymore," Clara confessed, her heart racing. Liam's eyes widened, and for a moment, silence hung between them. "Clara, a broken bar," he hesitated, running a hand through his hair. "You're an incredible woman, and I'm drawn to you, but I don't want to hurt you. My past is messy, and I'm not sure I can give you what you deserve." "Maybe we can figure it out together," Clara urged, her voice filled with desperation. "Life is too short to deny what we feel. I don't want to live in the shadows anymore." Liam stepped closer, his expression torn. "I wish it were that simple. I'm just not in a place where I can commit. I need time to sort through my feelings." Clara's heart sank as the reality of their situation washed over her. "I understand," she said softly, fighting back tears. "But I can't pretend that I don't want more." With a heavy heart, Clara turned away, feeling the weight of her unspoken desires crush her. She had bared her soul, only to be met with the same boundaries that had kept them apart. As she walked away, the rain began to pour, mirroring the turmoil within her. Days turned into weeks, and Clara found it increasingly difficult to navigate her feelings for Liam. She threw herself into her bookstore, trying to distract herself from the ache in her heart. But every corner held a memory of their time together, every book whispered of unfulfilled passion. One rainy afternoon, as she restocked the shelves, she received a text from Liam. "Can we meet?" Her heart raced. She didn't know whether to feel excited or anxious. After a moment of contemplation, she replied, "Of course." They agreed to meet at a small cafe tilde copyright nearby. As she arrived, Clara found Liam already seated at a corner table, his expression serious. The air was thick with tension as she approached, her heart pounding in her chest. "Thank you for coming," he said, his voice steady but laced with uncertainty. "What's going on, Liam?" Clara asked, her heart sinking. "You seem serious." He took a deep breath, his gaze locked onto hers. "I've been doing a lot of thinking. I can't shake the feeling that we have something special. I want to explore that, but I need you to understand that my past is complicated. Clara felt a flicker of hope igniting within her. I'm willing to take that risk if you are. I don't want to let fear dictate our connection. Liam reached across the table, taking her hand in his. Then let's do it. Let's explore this flame, but with the understanding that it won't be easy. I don't want to hurt you, and I need to be honest about my struggles. I can handle it, Clara replied, her heart racing. I want to be there for you. With that, they began a new chapter in their relationship, diving headfirst into the complexities of love and passion. They spent their days together, sharing laughter, dreams, and stolen kisses that ignited the forbidden flame within them. Yet, as they grew closer, the shadows of Liam's past loomed ever larger. He had been married before, a union that had ended in betrayal and heartbreak. The scars of that experience haunted him, making it difficult for him to fully embrace the love blossoming between them. One evening, as they walked along the riverbank, the sun setting in a blaze of orange and pink, Clara sensed a turmoil beneath Liam's calm exterior. "What's on your mind?" she asked softly. "I'm scared, Clara," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "I don't want to hurt you, but I can't shake the feeling that I'm not enough. My past still affects me, and I don't know if I can give you what you need." Claire stepped closer, taking his hands in hers. "You don't have to be perfect. I'm not asking for perfection, just honesty. We can navigate this together." Liam's eyes searched hers, vulnerability etched across his face. "I want to believe that, but the fear of repeating my mistakes holds me back." "Then let's take it one day at a time," Clara urged. "We can be each other's strength." As they stood by the water, Clara felt the forbidden flame flickering between them, threatening to consume them. She leaned in, pressing her lips to his in a soft kiss, hoping to ignite the passion they both craved. But as their lips met, a wave of uncertainty washed over Liam. He pulled away, his expression conflicted. "I need time to sort through my feelings. I don't want to hurt you, Clara." Clara's heart sank, the flicker of hope dimming once again. "I understand," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I just wish things were different." In the weeks that followed, Clara tried to give Liam the space he needed, but the distance only intensified her longing for him. She poured herself into her bookstore, filling her time with new authors and books, yet her heart remained heavy with unfulfilled desires. One evening, as Clara was closing up for the night, she received a phone call from Liam. "Can we meet?" he asked, his voice urgent. "Yes, of course. Where?" she replied, her heart racing. They decided to meet at a secluded park, a place where they had shared many intimate moments. As Clara arrived, she found Liam waiting on a bench, his expression a mix of anxiety and determination. "Clara," he began, his voice trembling, "I've been thinking a lot about us. I can't deny the connection we have, but I need you to know that I'm still working through my past. I don't want to put you through the pain of my baggage." Clara felt a rush of emotions of fear, longing, but mostly hope. "Liam, I'm willing to accept your past. What I want is to build a future together. I don't want to keep living in the shadows of what could be." He took a deep breath, the weight of his decision pressing heavily on him. "You deserve someone who can give you everything, and right now, I can't promise that. But I can promise that I'll work on myself." "I believe in you, Liam," Clara replied, her voice firm. "And I believe in us. But I won't wait forever. I need to know that you're willing to fight for what we have." Liam looked into her eyes, and for a moment, the world around them faded away. "I am willing to fight, Clara. I want to explore this flame, but I need your patience as I navigate my demons." Clara felt a warmth spread through her. "Then let's do it together. We can face the challenges and emerge stronger." As they embraced, the forbidden flame of their hearts ignited once again, enveloping them in a warmth that promised new beginnings. They began to explore their connection on deeper levels, sharing their dreams and fears, intertwining their lives in a dance of vulnerability and trust. Yet, just as they began to settle into this new phase of their relationship, Liam received a phone call from his ex-wife. She was back in town and wanted to meet with him to discuss their past. The news sent ripples of doubt through Clara's heart, and she couldn't shake the feeling of insecurity that crept in. That evening, as they sat together in Clara's apartment, she took a deep breath. "Liam, how do you feel about meeting your ex?" He hesitated, his gaze drifting away. "It's complicated. I thought I had moved on, but part of me feels a responsibility to address our past." Clara felt a knot tighten in her stomach. "Are you sure you're ready for that? It could open old wounds." "I know," he replied, his voice heavy with uncertainty. "But I need closure. I want to put the past behind me for good." "I understand, but I can't help but feel threatened," Clara confessed, her vulnerability surfacing. "I don't want to compete with your past." Liam reached for her hand, squeezing it gently. "You don't have to compete. You are my present and my future. I care about you deeply, but I can't ignore what happened before." The conversation hung heavy in the air, and Clara felt the forbidden flame flickering uncertainly. She wanted to believe him, but the fear of losing him to the shadows of his past gnawed at her heart. As the days passed, Clara's anxiety grew. She spent sleepless nights wondering about the meeting, replaying scenarios in her mind. She knew that love required trust, but the thought of Liam's ex resurfacing filled her with dread. Finally, the day arrived when Liam was set to meet his ex-wife. Clara tried to distract herself, pouring her energy into her bookstore, but her heart was heavy with worry. When the sun began to set, she found herself pacing her apartment, unable to shake the feeling of impending doom. As the hours ticked by, Clara decided to call Liam, her heart pounding in her chest. "Hey, is everything okay?" she asked, her voice laced with concern. "I'm fine," Liam replied, though his tone felt distant. "The meeting was tough, but I'm glad I did it." Clara hesitated. "What happened? Did you talk about everything?" "Yeah, we did," he said, his voice faltering. "There were some unresolved feelings, but I assured her that I'm moving on." Clara's heart raced. "And how do you feel about that?" "I don't know," he admitted. "Part of me still feels tied to that chapter of my life, but I want to be with you, Clara. You're what matters most to me." His words brought a flicker of hope, but Clara couldn't shake the doubt that lingered. "I want to believe that, Liam, but I need to know you're fully committed to us." "I am," he insisted, his voice firm. "But I need time to process everything. It's all still fresh." As the conversation continued, Clara felt the weight of uncertainty pressing down on her. The forbidden flame between them flickered, threatened by the shadows of Liam's past. In the days that followed, Clara tried to remain patient, but the insecurity grew. She watched as Liam withdrew slightly, consumed by his own thoughts and feelings. The warmth they had shared began to wane, replaced by an unsettling distance that threatened to extinguish the flame. One evening, as Clara was closing up the bookstore, she found herself standing in front of the mirror, the flickering candlelight casting shadows across her face. She was at a crossroads, torn between love and fear. She couldn't continue living in uncertainty, waiting for Liam to figure things out. With a heavy heart, Clara decided to take a break from their relationship, believing that distance would help clarify their feelings. She sent Liam a text, letting him know she needed time to think. Liam's response was immediate. "I understand. I'll respect your space." As the days turned into weeks, Clara focused on her own growth, channeling her emotions into her books tour and her writing. She found solace in the characters she created, weaving stories of love and passion that mirrored her own struggles. Yet, as she poured herself into her work, she felt the absence of Liam like an ache in her heart. The forbidden flame still flickered within her, but the distance had caused it to dim. She missed their laughter, their conversations, and the way he made her feel alive. One day, as Clara was reorganizing the shelves, she stumbled upon the book that had first drawn Liam into her life. The cover was worn, the pages slightly dog-eared, but the story still resonated deeply within her. She picked it up, feeling a rush of memories wash over her. That evening, Clara decided to visit the park where they had shared so many moments. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow across the landscape. As she walked along the familiar path, she felt a sense of nostalgia and longing. Suddenly, she spotted a familiar figure sitting on a bench. Liam. Her heart raced as she approached, unsure of what to expect. "Clara," he said, his voice a mixture of surprise and relief. "I wasn't sure if I'd see you here." "Neither was I," Clara replied, her heart pounding. "I've missed you." "I've missed you too," he admitted, his gaze sincere. "I've been thinking a lot about us and what we had. I don't want to let it go." Clara felt the forbidden flame flickering back to life, igniting a glimmer of hope within her. "What do you mean?" "I want to fight for us," he said, determination shining in his eyes. "I've realized that my past doesn't define me, and I don't want it to dictate my future. You're the one I want to be with." Clara felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes, a mix of relief and joy flooding her heart. "Are you sure?" "I don't want to be a rebound or a distraction from your past." "You're not," Liam insisted, his voice firm. "I've been working through my feelings, and I realize that my heart belongs with you. I want to explore this flame together." As they sat on the bench, their hands entwined, Clara felt the warmth of their connection enveloping them once again. They spent hours talking, sharing their fears and desires, rekindling the passion that had once burned so brightly between them. In that moment, Clara understood that love was not without its challenges. It required vulnerability, trust, and a willingness to confront the shadows of the past. As they shared tender kisses under the starlit sky, she knew that their journey wouldn't be easy, but it would be worth it. In the following weeks, Clara and Liam navigated the complexities of their relationship. Facing their fears together, they sought counseling to help work through the scars of Liam's past, ensuring that they built a strong foundation for their future. Clara poured her heart into her writing, crafting stories that reflected their journey. She discovered that the flame of love could be nurtured, even amidst adversity. Each day brought new challenges, but together, they faced them head on, their bond growing stronger. One evening, as they sat in Clara's apartment, she handed Liam a manuscript. "This is for you. I hope you enjoyed the story." If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.